see that the geisha woman, at first it looks like she may be asleep, but you notice that there's a small trickle of blood coming from her mouth. Suddenly 4 figures, one crashes through the door and 2 crash through the windows behind the 2, well there's 3 windows on each side, 1 crashes in each. They look at you all with hate and in their eyes, and at unison they all flick their wrists and punch daggers all go whooshing. And she jumps in the air and does like a spinning bird kick and clocks both of you in the face as you land. Just goes, she grabs one of your hands and she uses your momentum coming forward and just goes and catches you twice in the gut. The first one tears down your arm, or your shield arm. Your shield almost like just falls out of your hand.
He told you not to do that.
You see torches running towards the camp, and you see that the soldiers are coming to arrive.
The agents of the Demiurge are everywhere. If they had succeeded in their mission, they would have unleashed Baal onto Hakotay.
She smiles a toothless grin at all of you and stops looking at Pollux just for a moment.
Dawn is in 3 hours. We will leave a guard posted outside. I must now prepare.
As the stone part, a gust of wind billows forth from the opening. You are hit with a foul stench of rot and decay, and a deep dread builds up inside of all of you.
My name is Sir Jericho Quintus, the last knight of the 9. My new destiny begins today. Who is with me?
I am Hakotay Chenichka of the Haroni people. I will go with you this day.
My name is Pollux of the Urea Valley. I'm with you. I am Rinnerak Hatan Takor of the Otawak people, and I owe the 3 of you a debt.
The crack in the stone closes with a thud behind you, and you're immersed in complete darkness. It smells like cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this chapter 7 of Cast of Players. I am your humble DM, the B-Bone. And then we have the rest of these reprobates. Chef, also known as Rin, the spider, Hakotay, Rob, with Pollux, so we think, and then Beard as Jericho. So you all obviously would have watched the previously on Cast of Plays. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit, because it's been a little while break between filming here, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a slow, gentle prod in the right direction. So you may remember from where we left off last time, where before the air had been still and stagnant inside the Blood Temple, now a warm breeze has begun to blow throughout. Dust flows around you, bringing with it the smell of something cooking. It's an interesting smell, but it's not altogether unpleasant. Far above you, you see another light has been lit. This one is substantially larger than the torches that have been lighting your way so far. It looks like it could be some sort of campfire. And that is where we will begin.
And we don't really have any sense of how long we've been in this temple, because we've been ascending.
We've been walking for a long time.
What feels like hours.
It could have been days.
Yeah.
You've had to stop
I
and
don't think
have
it's
one
been
meal.
days, though.
Well, you don't know.
It might not have been days.
Time here is different.
Time flies.
So
when
it
you're having fun.
seems.
You have to be careful of this DM. So a fire has suddenly. So we've come to the top of. Well, the stairs have leveled out at a couple of points.
You're on kind of at the moment. Remember, the stairs are they're about as wide enough to fit about 3 of you abreast,
Yeah.
and so you're kind of spread over 2 of those steps at the moment. Far above you, you see that another light has come to life, but it looks a lot brighter and almost larger. It's like this, the kind of light that would come from a campfire. There may even be a platform up there. You're a little bit far away now to tell exactly what's going on, but it definitely seems like a larger place.
And the stairs lead to that.
Yes, or down. You could go back if you wished.
We could go back.
So the stairs...
Oh yeah, we can go back where we came.
Yeah, it's
So
the
we
stairs
can see
having
the stairs
disappeared.
finally end, like they go somewhere now.
Well, you see a light. you know,
But
if
this
you
is the
don't know
first
that-
time.
This is the first time, yes, correct.
But there were these sconces on the walls that kept illuminating.
Correct.
And then they would go out
As soon as
shortly
you moved
after we
past
passed
them.
them. Yeah.
So it's almost like when whatever's up, that something has almost set off the sensor light, as it were.
Okay.
Okay. Can I hear fire? Other than what's on the sconces? Can I hear anything from up on this platform?
Not from this range, no. You'd have to walk up there to see what was going on.
How much light is it actually giving off? Like, is it enough, because you said it was bigger.
Yes.
Is it enough to provide a more clear view of our surroundings?
Well, not really, because it's a bit further up, so
Okay.
it's almost like you're surrounded in this little area of light. There's probably 1 or 2 torches illuminating you, and remember, the darkness is kind of impregnable. You can't really see where you've come from or where you're going until the light comes on in front of you. So it's almost like you see darkness, and then up above a light has lit.
Okay.
Lit.
It's lit.
It can lit.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think it can.
Yeah, me either.
So okay, and it's Jericho and I that were up the front with.
Yeah, so you guys had stopped for a break at this time.
And has it sort of gone poof, it's just appeared?
Yes.
So it would have probably taken us by surprise.
So essentially, yeah, but it's far enough away that it wasn't a shock. It's almost like it just went and came to light there.
Right.
And it came with this warm breeze and this smell that is now mingling in your nostrils.
Right. So as I see that, I sort of nudge Hakotay. Look.
Yeah, Hakotay looks at you and nods, and you can see he's stopped, but he's ready to launch himself into action if required. He then looks at you and makes a quiet sound. He turns to everyone else, raises his hand, and then he begins to step very slowly up. I want to creep up the stairs to the point, if I have to, put my body close to the stairs so that I can almost just try and peer across the level if it levels out.
Sure.
Assuming it does.
Yeah. So you get to a point where you'll realise that you probably won't be able to go much further unless you want to go further. I can tell you what you see as you start to get closer.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So as you get closer, you see 4 men covered in fur sitting around a campfire. The staircase is wider here, and the campfire seems to be set up on some sort of platform. They are sitting in silence, gnawing on what appear to be bones. You realise, to your horror, that the bones are indeed human bones, and that roasting smell, which at first had seemed inviting, was actually the smell of cooked human flesh. At this time, they don't seem to have noticed you.
Okay, well, Hakotay is disgusted by this. I begin to creep back down and try and make my way as quietly as I can. One thing that I find curious, where was the smoke going?
The smoke
Yeah, because you've got
of
a
the
campfire.
fire
Yeah.
was just disappearing into the ether.
So, is there a ceiling that we can see?
Not that you can see, no.
So it's just going up into
Into
this tower.
the void.
It's just black. It's just very disturbing. It's just blackness everywhere.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Or we could just go back downstairs.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. we can't flood them.
Yeah. And that is the end of the campaign. They
We
went
just
down.
jump to our deaths.
They just go, no, so we decided against it, actually. We got halfway up the stairs and just said, nah.
Well, so I make my way back down to Jericho, and I look at you, and I in a whispered voice I say,
There are 4 men. They are eating human flesh. They are cannibals.
Human flesh.
Yes. My people do not believe in this. It is not Baharna's way.
Don't think it's anyone's way.
Well, for these people, it is.
How are there other humans in it?
I don't know. I didn't get a good look at them, but they're wearing furs. I'm assuming that they are men.
They can't be men. They must be beasts if they're feasting on flesh.
What would you do? Draw your sword and attack?
Well, the other option's to go back.
I just sort of look back down.
Feels like we've been walking for days. We have to keep going forwards.
Well, we could introduce ourselves. Maybe they will have some light to shed on this place.
Aye.
They have a fire, somewhere to rest.
Do you think we could sneak up?
I sort of look at you.
And I kind of lean forward.
And I just,
Some of us may be able to do that.
Hakotay just sort of shakes his head at you.
Oh well, we'll do it the old way then, shall we?
Be ready.
I share this information with the dark-skinned warrior and Sahid and Pollux and Rin and
Anarch.
of course, yeah.
How could we forget Anarch?
Does anyone say anything or?
I'm ready to go.
So he just nods and he draws his blade.
He draws his blade.
Yeah.
I say to him,
Is that a wise move?
They are eating people.
It may be all that there is to eat here. We must assume that every follower of Baharna is not evil at first.
If it is all that is available to eat here, it means that we are food.
Pollux pipes up with that. He's upon hearing this, he starts to kind of pack his pipe. But as he's hearing this, he says to Hakotay, he says, "Are they armed?"
I did not see any weapons, but I did not have long to look.
If they are not dangerous, they could be subdued.
And Anna kind of, you see Anna, he as you're saying this, he also draws out one of his blades as well. He said, I am with Sahid on this one.
And I am with Bahana. I speak before I kill.
Very well. Let us make friends with the cannibals. If you'd like to lead the way.
Now, despite saying that, as Hakotay turns, both of his sides, which were behind him, in front of him, he takes out and he puts behind him, but you can see that they're quite loosely fitted in the back of his belt. But he's not presenting weapons.
Okay. Fair enough.
I walk up.
So is anyone else going?
I am going to knock an arrow. I've been quite quiet during all of this. I'm sort of just looking at everyone's reaction, seeing you go, but with your weapons behind. I knock an arrow, but I'm going to stick to the shadows where I can, because I do have some dark vision. I don't know whether it's working in this, because I presume it's pretty magical darkness. Okay, so I can't see anything then. In which case, I'm going to just hang back, because I'll just be ready to go in case it kicks off.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is just to give you guys a bit. You can totally go by yourself. That's fine. But is it going to be, if something were to happen, there is going to be a big distance for you to cover.
Define a big distance.
Well, again, it's quite far away. It probably took you about when you were creeping up there. It probably took you about 10-15 minutes.
Oh, that.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow, that changes everything.
I assume it's like 30 seconds or something.
No, you were creeping up there.
Okay.
But remember, I said it's quite far.
I am I move quite quick.
Yes.
You're
Exactly.
creeping.
I was creeping.
He was creeping.
Quick.
So it's about 10 minutes.
The
return journey, 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
That's a long time.
Yes.
Well, you didn't say that.
I said it was very far.
He did say it was a bit far away, but anyway.
Thank you, 10 experience points.
Yay!
He didn't mean it.
It's also irrelevant, we're not using it.
I know. I know, I didn't believe him.
Okay, well then, given that you probably would have relayed that information to
Yeah.
us, Rin will pipe up.
If we were to go the quieter ones, no offense.
He looks at Jericho, and then he looks up at the big man.
No armor, but not sure. If we were to go quietly, one of two things could happen. We could startle a beast eating its meal, which you do not want to do. Or we approach without weapons and find ourselves privy to some information on this place. Either way, we will know where we stand, but might I suggest we go as a united front? It is too far away for anyone else to join us, and 2, maybe 3 against 4, we have the numeric superiority.
Yeah,
Perhaps-
Hakotay's nodding the whole time.
Perhaps a show of force, maybe not overtly, but implied, is better.
I never had any intention to go alone. I assumed that you would follow.
Hakotay looks at
It didn't happen the first time.
and he says,
Are my words not correct?
Did not stop you the first time.
Well, the first time I was deliberately hiding. This time I intend to walk and talk to them.
Then might I suggest we approach without weapons in hand,
and then
But
Hakotay
within-
looks at his, feels his size in his back.
but within easy access.
I agree.
On hearing that, Pollux takes his pipe to his mouth and he says to Hakotay, "Go ahead, I'll be ready." And he kind of waves his hand over the opening of the pipe. You don't see any kind of light go off or anything like that, but then he just takes a drag and smoke emerges from his mouth as if he's lit it, but you don't see any light.
Cool. Yeah, Hakotay says, just because I wish to talk does not make me a fool. And he sort of shakes his head, like, why would he go by himself? And he starts to walk up the stairs.
So, you head as a united front. Very good.
Yes, please.
Okay, very nice. So, as you're kind of walking, up, because you're not creeping, it's kind of just... you can't see any sort of change happening up there. The fire seems to... You can still smell the human flesh being cooked, but you don't see any movement or anything up there. So, you're intending at this stage just to walk straight up to the fire?
Well, no. So, I mean, I don't know what anyone else is doing, but I when I step up onto the platform, because obviously the stairs will level out and become a floor, right? Sure. So, I want to just take a step into this new alcove or room.
Yeah. When you get what it is, it's almost like there's a platform break in the stairs.
Okay.
And so it's just like a large area. It looks actually quite lived in as you're getting closer as well.
Right.
One thing you will notice as you get closer is you realise that these men may not be men after all. The way that they're hunched over, they've all got their backs to you, but there's something about the movement which does look quite animalistic.
Yeah, so Hakotay starts to hesitate with every new step taken forward.
Sure.
And the more they come into view, so what are they then?
What are they?
Because you said that there were 4 men there. Do you remember that?
They were covered. They what looked like men.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Who were covered in furs.
Seems to be some conflicting information here.
Is what they actually are.
Well,
because if they're not men, I might change my tack.
Well, as you got closer, the movements lend to the fact that although they could have been men, maybe at one time, in fact, the fur coats that you thought were fur coats are not fur coats at all. Their entire body seems to be covered in hair. They are hunched over this fire. They still haven't seemed to notice you at this stage, so you're not quite at the platform yet, I would say. If you would like to move, you do also notice, like I say, this area looks like it's been lived in. There's kind of like rags. There's some sort of area where they've been sleeping by the looks of it. You do see, crouched next to them, are crude looking weapons. So there's an axe, spears, a shield, and all that sort of stuff as well. So that is what you see now that you've all got closer.
So as we are approaching, I'll sort of tap you on the shoulder quickly to stop you from walking.
Yeah. Yeah, you see I've been slowing my step the whole time.
They are not going to be ones for diplomacy.
Maybe. But would you kill a dog or a wolf?
They're eating human flesh, they need to be put down.
They are simply living with the means that they have been provided by this place, by their environment. A dog eating flesh is just as liable to run away. He will only fight you if you back it into a corner.
What do you suggest we do?
Perhaps they will scatter at our sight. The weapons give me some pause, but I cannot see. How big are these things?
At the moment they're kind of crouched down, but they don't look enormously tall. They have Moncow-like features to them.
So they're not really a creature that I'm assuming anyone of us recognises.
No.
And so on this level, so there's 4 of them there, around like a campfire, with weapons to the side, rags, like anything like tents or anything like that.
No, like it's a really odd experience. It's almost like you're looking into a window of an area which is here, but it's not here. It's the only way that you can. It just doesn't fit the whole thing.
Okay. A creature eating its meal, even amongst a family unit, faced with a superior foe, superior numbers, it will abandon the meal. It will return later to pick the carcass, but it will not fight, not to the death. Maybe 1 or 2, and then they will flee. If we show enough overt force, they will probably abandon this place. I agree with Jericho though. If these creatures are eating human flesh and they have weapons, they are probably not disposed to diplomacy.
I also agree, but I have to try.
Is there any way we can... Is there any way we can warn them?
Why don't you hail them?
Hakotay looks. Ho there!
I unfasten my bow as you do this.
Yeah. And Hakotay takes a step forward.
Okay.
As you do that, Pollux just kind of starts to make a shape with his hand.
Yeah. Anak just pulls both of his blades out. He's just holding them by his side. So you hear this.
Hakotay throws him a savage look.
So,
And then looks.
and
back at the
he just looks.
creatures.
He looks straight back at you, and he puts his bandana over his mouth. And just goes. And he's just staring at. He doesn't move, but he's staring them. And he's probably a little further out of the light than you. So you stepped in there. So what happens next is these creatures, and I guess it's a real world reference for you. They would be closer to almost like, as you see them, almost like apes.
Okay.
But they're wearing like clothes that are all tattered and they've seemed quite old. So
Like
you
sort of Cro-Magnon sort of medieval. It's a little earlier than medieval. Those sort of it's that sort of in between that missing link sort of man.
that sort of feel. So you call out. One of them stops. Goes.
Hakotay holds out his hand, but the other hand is just casually behind his back.
They've all now sat up to attention. And they actually, you see like their chests are like real, their barrel chest. You see that their arms are actually quite muscular.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just staring at you like this.
You have speech. Hakotay points to his mouth and then holds his hand out.
He looks down at some of the bones that he's been gnawing on, and he picks one up and throws it to you.
Hakotay he squats down in a very unassuming manner. He's not an aggressive stance, or at least openly it's not an aggressive stance. He sort of squats like as if he was talking to a child. He lets the bone roll to him. I pick it up.
It's covered in human flesh. And he goes, oh.
I just sort of grunt back to him. I make a no gesture and toss it back.
And the others kind of start going,
Hakotay starts to shake his head and it starts to stand up. Both the sides come out.
sure. And I think at this stage, let's roll for initiative. Right, so unfortunately your attempts at diplomacy at this stage did not work, and it seems that these ape men want to do battle. So why don't we start... Should have eaten the human flesh. Well, we live, we learn. So why don't we start with rolling initiatives with you, Jericho?
Absolutely. I'm going to use this dice.
Okay.
That's a 19.
Hey! Not so old anymore.
Warmed up my knees.
Okay, who's next?
Did you stretch?
That'd be me.
All right, roll it.
Whoa.
Sadly, Pollux has fallen off the side of the steps and is dead.
And we will not be seeing him in the campaign ever again.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Take two.
Okay, 8.
An 8.
No pluses on that one. Just an 8.
Okay, very good. Hakotay.
Okay. 18.
Ooh,
Oi.
Plus 2. Oh no, plus 3, so 21.
21, very nice. And Rin.
8 plus 3, 11.
Okay.
What's the plus on?
Dexterity.
Dexterity.
Carry on.
It's been a while.
Right. Okay, cool. So I have rolled abysmally. So here is how it will go. It will go Hakotay, then it will go Jericho, then it will go Rin, Pollux, and then my 8 men. So just before we jump into the combat, what actually happens is suddenly you hear from below, and you see all of these torches starting to burn to life from the way that you've came.
Ooh.
And traveling through them at a high speed are more of these creatures. So what happens is Anak turns to you, Hakotay, says, "My kind of diplomacy. Big man, you." And so he kind of looks at him and goes, "This way," and he starts marching down. So they're going to hold your back line while you are engaged in combat with these creatures in front of you. Hakotay, if you would like to start.
Okay, so Hakotay has drawn both of his sides now, and have those creatures gone to grab their weapons?
Yeah, so they've now kind of collected them.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, they were literally right next to them.
Right, but
Yeah.
then if that's the case, they're going to die.
Yes.
So Hakotay sprints into action.
Sprint for diplomacy.
He runs straight towards the fire. As he makes contact with the first one within striking distance, he leaps up into the air and does a jumping roundhouse kick into the side of its head. Oof. Cracking bone.
Yes.
Here we go. I rolled a 9 plus 5, 14.
14, you say?
Yes. Right, yeah.
It'd be helpful if I had my stats
Bonuses.
ready. So what actually happens is you misjudge how nimble these creatures are. So you go to do this spinning kick and it
Yeah.
actually ducks underneath you, so you miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then yes. Then as I kick over his head, I just land, have my sides ready in a defensive stance, and get ready for a horrible attack.
Okay, very good. Next, Jericho.
Yeah. So, the back. Here we go. I'm gonna move over to the one.
I love that your back is sort of like
It's weird. I'm not even method acting. I actually have a sore back. We're becoming one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start talking northern. So yeah, I've got sort of gone to the side of Hakotay over there. As the monkey has ducked underneath your kick, I have luckily swung upwards with my sword and cleaved him in half.
Very good.
Here we go. 10 plus 3 is 13.
13.
Plus your
Plus your proficiency as well,
so
maybe.
it should be plus 5, I think.
Oh, yes, 17.
17.
18.
That is
15. 15.
You rolled a 10 and you added 5.
Yeah,
Oh, so you got 15?
15.
15 is a miss as well.
Oh.
15's a miss as well.
They're very
Why
good
is that
these
5?
creatures.
You get your proficiency, which is currently 2, and then
Yes.
your strength bonus, which is 3.
Okay.
You guys are level 2 now. It's going to get hard.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's been a while.
yeah, that's all right.
That was a roller coaster.
Still missed.
Rin, you are next.
Okay, so as I draw an arrow from my quiver, I load it onto the side, I pull it up, and Pollux hears me whisper, Okastrahi, and I am casting Hail of Thorns upon myself as a bonus action.
Okay.
It means the next attack that hits will do extra stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm going to loose an arrow smack into this guy here.
I see.
Let's see if it actually
So that's the one brandishing a shield.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Well, that is a 10 plus a 5, so 15.
15 again, unfortunately, is... You've all rolled 15. You have all missed.
Interesting.
Very good.
Very interesting.
Pollux.
Wow, time to do something about that then. So, no, yeah, he's going to stay put where he is. As that arrow's gone past, Pollux eyes off this guy to that guy here with the little axey thing there. So he kind of takes a drag of his pipe, closes his eyes as he does so. He starts to clench his hand like this, and he's making like little. You can almost kind of, you're kind of slightly behind me. You can almost see him kind of like making little shapes with his fingers, and then he opens his eyes. He releases the pipe, breathes out, and as he does so, he pushes the smoke out with his hand. You know those videos of guys with the vape doing the whole tricks with the. Anyway, that's how it kind of looks. So it's this big kind of ring of smoke just goes towards this guy, and as it comes to him, he takes his axe and he goes and tries to kind of bat it out of the way. But as he does so, it kind of splits in several pieces as his axe passes through it, and then as that happens, it solidifies into ice.
Okay.
Like that.
All right.
And kind of just stabs him in the chest.
Amazing.
Now, it is arranged. Okay, thank goodness. Okay.
You just wait, can't.
But like, I just remember because I'm casting Chill Touch, and I just kind of had a moment there where I said, no, it's Chill Touch. The Shocking Grasp is the one where I had to be in melee range. So, yes, that's fine. I'm making a ranged attack.
Okay.
Time to roll plus 20. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Yes, everyone, we have returned. You don't quite get the spell right, and he actually, it does turn to ice just before it goes into the speed, and he actually does knock it out of the air. Very well. So that was a successful round of combat. Well done, everyone. It will now be the turn for the 8 men to strike back. So they will come around here.
TPK.
There, and he would come here, knocking. He's kind of standing on top of the bag of bones there.
Right.
So we will start with the first one. So the one that both of you struck out at. So he's kind of like flipped almost out of the way, and he lands on all fours and then launches himself at you, Hakotay, straight into your chest with his spear, piercing your chest and killing you immediately.
I will spend a key point.
What?
I am going to use
CP reroll.
Step of the Wind. You can spend 1 key point to disengage or dash. Oh no, that's not the right one. Excuse me, Patient Defense.
Okay.
Which means that I can take the dodge action as a bonus action on your turn. Can I do this now?
Sure.
Can I do it now? Or did I have to do that in my
I
turn?
presume that you were doing something because you didn't attack twice.
Yeah, I didn't attack twice.
You did say you went into you waited.
Exactly. So what I was doing, I was role playing.
The DM has said you can do it. Just do it.
Yes, because normally
He's also given us like armor class 17 monkeys. Just let.
I know.
They're not quite there, but that's it's close.
Now, when I've moved, I can actually attack twice despite moving because I just get that as a bonus action anyway. As a monk. Okay.
Yes.
So what I did is obviously I did my Patient Defense.
Very good.
Instead.
Excellent.
Okay. So I've only got 1 key point left, but what it does mean is you're hitting me at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
So you'd like to roll 2d20.
I will.
Pick the lowest, and then divide that.
So it's that's it. There's no division. He just misses wildly.
I'm very pleased to hear
So
it.
as he launches at you, I like to think you just literally dodge, and he kind of like flies over the top of you, maybe.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one will come around on you, Jericho. And so what he does is he's kind of run around. So you've done this big upward swing, and suddenly you get an axe strike right underneath your armpit, and actually severs an artery and kills you on the spot. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Your armor class?
18.
No, he does not. So he hits you, just goes king off there. 18. That's fun. I'll remember that. Remember that for next time I'm writing up an encounter. Okay. So then we go to the third one, which will also be an attack on you. So he's seen his friend just bounce off you, and so he comes in under the other armpit because you're kind of up like this. So they've kind of gone for like a pincer maneuver to pinch you both. He goes to attack. And that is also a miss. I don't think it is a miss because you're a big lad, but again, it's just hitting your arm, and all these stone-type weapons are just like bouncing off you. The final attack is again on you. Now, are you still dodging at this point?
It's for this round, I believe.
Wow. Okay.
So when you dodge until the start of your next turn.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so you kind of dodge out this way, and then as you kind of come up, there's this monkey's like right in your face, and he kind of goes to latch onto you and bite down on your neck.
Let's roll 2d20 and pick the lowest.
Damn it! I rolled a 1! Yeah! The other one was definitely a hit!
Critical
So
fumble?
fast. Whipping his
He
ability.
wants one as well. Right, so at the end of that, so you guys now all engaged in this combat, and you actually hear this whoop, 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 and you look up and you see swinging in from the shadows more of these creatures coming in on vines, and they land.
Get your paws
Ba-dunk.
on me.
Badunk. Badunk.
We can't hit 4.
Yeah.
We can't put more down.
I've put them all down. So that is arriving on the battlefield is their action at this stage, but reinforcements have arrived.
Tremendous.
Very good. So we go back to you now, Hakotay. I suggest you strike true, my friend.
Okay, so given that one just tried to smash me with its stone axe, and then the other tried to leap up and bite me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine that Hakotay almost just flung him off and he sort of lands on the ground. As he lands on the ground, Hakotay snaps up his leg, and it's like an axe. He does an axe kick. The heel comes down hard on the thing's face as it's trying to get back up off the ground. We'll see if it's still moving after that. I rolled an 11 this time, plus 5, so 16.
That is a hit.
Hey! Okay.
Fabulous.
So,
You know what it takes now, do you?
we haven't done that. We haven't done that. Okay, so it is just D4, just because it's just a monk weapon anyway. So 1D4 plus 3, so that is 5 points of damage.
5 points. Very nice.
Then I will immediately take my bonus action to strike again. So as the axe comes down and smashes it in the face, then as he's trying to get back up, the other side comes down and it pins him to the ground right through his chest. He is dead.
Okay.
Critical hit. Well, it's a 12 plus 5.
So it is a
will be
hit. Yes. So far so good.
So far so good. And it's again 2 plus 3. That's 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
Would you like me to remove the monkey now?
No. he's still alive, but he is mortally wounded.
So the side has gone through its shoulder probably.
Yeah, and it's almost like where that would normally be a killing blow. It didn't quite pin him to the ground, and he almost just tears his arm out and like takes a whole huge chunk of flesh out. And that's actually where he almost did most of the damage to himself, but he is still fighting.
Now I do have another question.
Sure.
At what point did these apes become more like monkeys? They are smaller than us now, is that right?
Yeah, they were always smaller than you.
Okay, because when you described a big chest,
No,
I
they-
was like
they-
figures like.
No, they've
Donkey
got
Kong.
they've got
Yeah.
like, like probably closer to like baboon sort of sizes, but they've
Yeah,
got
so I
big
wouldn't have gone in with a
muscular arms.
rat flying roundhouse, so I probably just football kicked it in the face.
That's why you missed your
You know
first
what I
attack.
mean?
it's still-
So that's why I
it's
missed.
still- when
I
it's-
jumped when I didn't need
Sure,
to. I'd have
I mean
drop
they're
kicked
still
it.
coming up to about here on you.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that's a
nothing.
big monkey.
Yeah, it is a big.
I mean,
monkey.
I wouldn't want to fight a baboon normally, let alone 7 of them wielding.
Well, it's
axe
about to be a
weapons.
dead monkey.
Yeah. Well, one of them nearly is. Are you finished?
Yes.
Yes, Jericho.
Okay, we need to establish monkey facts.
I needed to know what it was.
This whole thing is not clear.
I can't fight something I don't
terrible
understand.
damage
First they were men, then they were apes.
Well, you
now
said they were like
baboons.
apes. You said they were like apes.
Yes,
I was
I
like,
did.
oh, they're like apes.
Yeah.
I thought it was huge.
It is pretty big for an ape.
It's not an ape, it's a monkey.
It's a matter. What was the name of your monkey in the previous cast of players?
I forgot.
Well, it's these are his big cousins.
Luco. No, that was your name. Luco's monkey. Luco's monkey.
White Tara, that's it now.
White Tara.
Tara. Stupid monkey. Right, speaking of stupid monkeys, it's time for one of them to die. So, I've battered 2 of them off with my shield, right?
Yes.
Boom, boom. Okay, so as I've deflected its second attack, and now we've realised how they are a little bit smaller, Jericho is going to sort of arc down and up to the one just to his right over here.
Okay.
That is a 17 plus
Yes.
3 is 20.
That is a hit.
That's a
Very
hit.
good. That is
okay.
a hit.
So it's going to be D8 plus 5. Where's my D8? Here we go. D8 plus 5. That is 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
In addition, as the sword strikes the monkey,
Yes. Ape man, but that's fine. Carry on.
Whatever. It doesn't matter after this. You hear, as the blade connects, you sort of hear a boom, like a very, very loud crack. A little bit like thunder. It reverberates through the sword and out around its expanse as I cast Thunderous Smite, because I now have unlocked my spells because I am level 2.
Okay.
What this does is allows me to inflict an additional 2d6 of thunder damage.
Wow.
And in addition, if he's not dead, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. And in addition, if you could take a strength saving throw, if you fail, he will be blasted off the side of this the platform over here.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna make the strength saving throw not because he's not dead, but because I want to see. So yeah, I would have been fine with that. I actually rolled a 20. So luckily that you did enough damage.
Okay, so he just explodes.
He explodes in lightning. It just goes. And you're all covered in not quite as tall as you thought monkey goo.
Monkey matter.
Yes, monkey matter.
But definitely not
Very
ape
good.
matter.
No, they're ape men.
So if you had failed, he would have been pushed back 10 feet, which would have pushed him over the edge. Would have been
That's
kinda
very
cool.
cool.
I'll take the monkey matter.
Please, ape matter. That's
Yeah.
fine. All right.
And now my beard's full of monkey matter.
Yes. Oh.
And he goes, oh, that's not very nice. Got monkey matter in my beard.
Right. Very good. That comes to you now, Rin.
Okay, so seeing the first, I imagine because I've shot the one with the shield, he's just, with surprising speed, he's brought the shield up and it's dunk, pump through. I snarl, sort of just under my breath. I move around, just going past Pollux here, just so I can get a better shot. And I'm actually going to fire at these newly arrived monkeys, seeing them sort of clamber down from the stairs.
Sure.
I quickly switch tact. I mutter at the one that I'm now aiming at. Yatime. So I'm going to use Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay.
So I can have them both running thanks to the variant features, which is nice. And I'm going to fire at this guy with the spear here.
Okay.
Oh, it's happening again, everyone. It's a 3.
Oh no!
It's 3 plus 3 is 6.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just goes straight over him, and your arrow goes into the darkness, never to be seen
It's
again.
extremely frustrating.
Does he have any spectacles in his adventurer's pack?
I don't know, but I blooming need him, I think.
Right, Pollux, what do you got?
Okay, cool. So seeing as that just his previous spell just dissipates, he kind of doubles down again. So he takes another drag from his pipe. He closes his eyes again. It looks like he's really trying to focus. And then he releases the pipe, and as well as these free hand, he also starts to make a sign with his other hand, like just kind of holding the pipe at the same time as well. Opens his eyes and his mouth, and uses both hands to kind of go like this, almost like a Hadouken, but you can hear it just go shash like this, and it's the same spell. So I'm going to try it again.
Sure.
But it's a little bit different this time. It just kind of starts looking like hail, sharp little bits of hail
Right.
that are going kind of horizontally. So they're just going
Not like icicles.
yeah, little icicles. So the one directly in front of me on the diagonal.
Okay,
Yep.
sure.
And yeah, it's not like one big cut, but like lots of needle pricks and all that.
So
stuff.
this is the one.
Yeah.
I believe this is the one that is actually you've got pinned on the ground. The one.
Oh, is that correct?
Is that correct?
I believe so.
It was
yes.
this one.
If it's that one, yes, it is.
Yes. Do you want to? You can. I'm just checking for my.
Doing it to be an advantage.
Yeah.
Come on, Sub-Zero.
Finish it!
So is this an advantage then? Is it?
No.
No. Okay, fine.
Oh, don't listen to Beard.
All right, but that was just for your reference.
Yes.
Fair enough. Cool. No worries. It doesn't matter because I roll a 20. Cool. Now it reminds me.
the
what-
mortally wounded one.
Yeah.
Right. So my normal damage is 1d8. Remind me what happens on a critical.
Double it.
Double.
Don't double it. I'm
Ah,
just gonna-
fatality.
Give me this.
Kill him.
Kill him. So there's 5 and 2. That makes 7.
Okay. If you'd like to describe how you kill this pinned ape man.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So what happens is he's on the ground, he's fighting, and all of a sudden he starts to feel these, which initially doesn't he just makes it go, and then all of a sudden, to your horror, you see him start to go, his mouth starts to open, then you see these like those icicle hands that I was describing in previous encounters, start to climb out of his mouth. They've embedded himself and they've kind of frozen his insides, and they just... And then that and the blood start pouring out of his mouth, and he just kind of limply drops his weapon and just falls to the ground. And then the ice hands just kind of melt, and he's like covered in blood and mortar.
What's wrong with you?
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure, Mike.
Have you removed the model? Would you like to?
I would love to.
Great.
Yay!
Very good.
That was really fun.
So
Serious issues.
yeah.
I'm gonna thunderous smite you.
Wow.
Oh, hang on.
What do you mean? Hang on.
Well, I also have a level 2 ability, and well, why don't you just continue on while I read up on it? I believe I have something.
Okay. Do you want to? But do you need to do it now?
I might do.
Okay. You can't do it now.
Intermission.
No, just you're shaking your head. Is there a concern or?
You just use a cantrip. I know exactly what you're looking at. You use a cantrip, not a level 1
Oh,
spell.
another spell. Okay, yeah. So no, it'll come up.
What is
Explain for the viewers
Yes, okay,
what
cool.
it is that you're
So
doing.
on second level, I've taken an arcane tradition or an arcane school, which I've chosen the school of necromancy.
Oh, what is wrong with you, man? Freaking me out.
so-
Place
Are we just
getting
casually?
close to a smiting?
Are we just casually just gonna? Yeah. Okay. School of very good.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think Hakotay's down with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be down with that.
that's all right.
I'm a follower of the light, bro.
Hey, guys,
I've got some problems.
I'm on your side. It's all right.
I'm not entirely convinced.
So if you'd like me to read it out, this rule is Grim Harvest. At second level.
I'm sorry, Beard's just breaking it.
You're gonna hurt his back more with this carrying on with all of this.
I'll just give you a wide berth. So you gain the ability to reap the life energy from creatures you kill with your spell. So not a cantrip, a spell. Once per turn, when you kill one or more creatures with a spell of first level or higher, you regain hit points equal to twice the spell's level or 3 times its level if the spell belongs to the school of necromancy. You don't get this benefit for killing constructs or the undead. Now, it is a spell, not a cantrip, so it doesn't apply. Plus, I don't think it really matters since I'm on max hit points anyway.
Yeah, so you can't heal past your maximum, and cantrips are just level 0 spells, technically.
Exactly. But that was a good time to mention it, now that it's come
We know
up.
for future reference
Exactly.
that you will be murdered in your sleep because you are a foul, evil sorcerer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
Jeez, man.
Okay.
I'm trying to be a good guy here.
Oh, you failed.
Very good. It now comes around to the 8 men's turn.
I
So,
had it last time.
I guess.
Oh, it's Vito again.
Let's go quiet.
and he will stay where he is. Right, so you are now all engaged by different ape beds. So the one that you kind of fired that arrow at him, he has he's actually run past you to Pollux, but his friend has come up to stab at you, and we will actually start with him.
There's
So
one
you've
who
kind of-
didn't move. Isn't it?
Yes, I know.
Oh, a ranger.
We'll
Very
see.
good.
Yeah, well, you just have to wait and see.
Alright.
Yeah. So the first one charges past you, Rin, and you kind of like see him go, the one that you were going to shoot at. Then you kind of go, and you almost don't see this ape man comes up, and he comes up right underneath you, and he actually goes to kind of tackle you while stabbing you in the face. Like he just jumps straight up in the air, like grabbing you with all his hands, just to completely envelop you. Hi. Your armor class.
14!
That one is a hit.
Ah,
So
yes,
he-
I've been hit by a monkey.
He
Brilliant.
collides an ape man. So for the last, I've told you that like 5 times. Right, here we go. So, hey! He does a total of 3 damage to you as he kind of climbs up your body, and with his spear, with his spear and small knife, he starts to like hack away at your body while he's kind of almost in air, holding himself in the air with the strikes that he's doing into your body, almost like he's scaling some sort of wall.
Okay, I will need to make a concentration check then, because the first spell that I cast, Hail of Thorns, is a concentration spell.
I see.
Because we've not gone through it yet, I'll explain it, and this will be useful for you guys when you've got your concentration spells up. So whenever you take damage whilst you're concentrating on a spell, you must make a Constitution saving throw to maintain it. The DC is 10, or half the damage that you take, whichever number is higher. So 10 is obviously higher than 1.5.
Yeah.
So on a 10 or more, I'm fine. Otherwise, the spell drops.
Okay.
And I've wasted the spell, basically.
Okay.
Which would be extremely frustrating. But that is a 19 plus my Constitution 2, so 21.
Yeah.
It maintains.
Yes, it does, in a big way. Very good. Okay, the one on you now, Pollux. As he runs past, looking at his friend, which is now a pile of bloody, watery mess, he holds his shield up and comes over the top, whoosh, Spartan style, straight into your chest. And again, yeah, you die. It's really sad. Your armor class is?
My armor class is 10.
Okay, that is definitely a hit. He does a total of 4 damage.
Okay.
So he does connect, it pierces into your chest, you kind of stumble back a bit, and you are engaged in combat.
Right.
We then come to the other 8 men which are engaged with you, Hakotay. So he just removed, I'm assuming, your son.
I think, I'm going to react to what he did. Do you want to say what I do?
Yeah, sure.
All of these icicles suddenly get stuck. There, I imagine probably one goes through either shoulder, and then all of a sudden its mouth opens. You've got these horrible ice-like hands coming out. I mean, this is really, really, really not okay.
Yeah.
So Hakotay sort of stands back in horror, but then he realizes he hears the screeching from this other monkey. He doesn't have time to sort of work out what's happened. He puts his foot in one of the arches of one of the prongs of the side, flicks it out of the body up into his hand, spins, and it's ready to face this thing.
You kind of land as this spear goes whooshing straight through your belly.
Except...
Oh yeah. And so are you still dodging? So that was just for that. Okay, so it's round, not the whole battle.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Excellent.
would have had to have spent another bonus point.
You did dodge at the beginning of every battle.
Yeah,
just
right.
go.
Yeah. I never get hit. What's that?
As I understand it, I don't think I can do my normal bonus attack and do that as well.
No, so your martial arts is a bonus action,
Yes.
and to do the patient defense is a bonus action. You get 1 bonus action.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've done that correctly.
Yeah, cool. Okay, very good. So can he strike you down? Your armor class.
Unfortunately for you, my armor class is 25.
Okay, I know that's not real.
15.
So 15, he does hit you. So exactly what I described happens. Whooshing, straight into your belly. He does a total of, that is 4 damage.
Okay.
I'd like to think that if you hadn't have said 25, it probably would have been like a miss, and he rolled a 14. But for your insolence,
Yeah. And
the GM has punished you.
And you'll never know the truth.
So
No,
4
I
points
rolled
of damage.
4 points of damage. So yeah, as this crude stone weapon just goes whunk into your belly.
Okay.
We then come over to the one engaged in mortal combat with you, Jericho. So he hit you once with the axe, bing, he just goes double-handed over the top, this time finding his mark. No, he does not. Again, it bounces off, and there's almost like a crack forms in his stone weapon. He stands there screaming at you, but does no damage. We then come over to the lone ape man. He's been standing quite silently watching this. Suddenly, for those, you're all engaged in combat, so you probably wouldn't notice it, but what you do notice is suddenly the energy around the area becomes lighter. And you do catch from the corner of your eyes, it looks like this man's hands have burst into flame. He lifts up, all the 4 fireballs go across the area, just goes. What?
Monkey Mancer!
Yes.
Ape Mancy.
You are You are all
Monkey magic.
You are all hit in the chest with a flaming ball of energy,
Oh dear.
and you all take, luckily for you, only 2 damage.
Okay.
But you are all
All of it?
hit. Yes.
Wow.
that then will come around to you, Hakotay.
Right, so not only am I spiked with this spear,
Yes.
which I imagine breaks through my arms and gashes me in the side, and then immediately hit with this fireball.
Yeah.
But not a massive fireball.
No. It was essentially a magic missile-esque sort of.
Yes. All right. Well, again, Hakotay's still got his guard up, so it explodes off of the sides and burns all of the forearms. He lets out a bit of a cry, and it pushes him back, and so the grit in this temple floor just scratches behind him. He then flicks both the sides round and launches both of them into, because it's smaller than me, into either shoulder, lifts the thing up and leaps into like a Muay Thai knee.
Sweet.
Right into its face.
Excellent.
So instead of putting my hands behind its neck,
Yeah.
I just
You
use the sides.
use the sides.
That's
Yeah.
right. Do you
Excellent.
understand?
It's very
Do you understand
clear.
that?
Yes.
Okay. That's an 11 plus 5, 16.
That's a hit.
Okay, so the first one is, big money. So 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
So he's literally been held in the air at the moment, and now the killing blow.
And then critical hits. Well, it is an 11 plus 5 again.
It is
16.
another hit. Very
And
good.
then it is a 1 plus 3, 4 points of damage.
Oh. So you pull him in, you patch him. It's almost like all of this vomit and blood just comes out of his mouth all down your front, and you kind of like let him go, and he kind of drops to the ground, and he slowly starts trying to get back up.
Is he still alive?
He is very, very injured.
Then I will spend my next key point as a bonus action.
Okay.
Because I've just done 2. Oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah, no, because you just did an attack.
So
and
I've
then
done my
another
second attack.
Yeah.
It's a weird one because I've actually got a flurry of blows
Yeah, technically you'd have to declare it
beforehand.
beforehand. So
Yes, that's fine. I won't do that then. Because what I've got is now is a flurry of blows, which lets me do 2 extra attacks instead of 1.
Yeah. So rather than going ba-ba, you go ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, but that's
really
fine.
cool.
That's my
Yeah,
mistake.
it's really
nice. Okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, Jericho.
Yes. So I'm engaged with this monkey, right?
8 man. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, you are.
The one in front of me. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Uh-huh.
How far can one throw an 8-man?
Well, it's technically a monkey man.
Well, no,
Established.
it's an. I mean, he's.
Haven't we?
It's not advisable anymore.
So he's not small enough just to.
No,
beat him
like
off the side of the
again,
thing.
like he'd be up. Like
Monkeys are quite dense as well.
If
Yeah,
this
yeah.
monkey was up to here on me and I booted it, it's flying off the edge.
Yeah, but also remember they're very strong.
Yeah, monkeys are quite dense. There's a lot of muscle in a monkey.
I am not a small person.
That also would not be a small monkey if it was the size of your chest.
Yeah, I'm actually a meat axe.
Yeah, exactly. Hello. Forget about that. I'm sorry. If that got booted in the face, it's going off the side.
Right.
I'm not gonna throw
Wow.
the 8-man.
Okay.
So okay. Okay.
So you have a sword,
That's my
right?
plan.
I have a
Ruined.
sword.
Yes.
So after I exploded
great.
the other 8-man with my thunderous smite,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily see this, but you kind of see like Jericho's shoulders drop a bit, and he sort of feels quite relieved because he's got these powers now that he didn't have previously.
Yeah.
But maybe he had them in the past. Feeling a bit nimble. The other one that's in front of him, he takes a spinning arc this time and brings the sword upwards, cleaving the monkey in half. Although that is a 9, so I miss.
Yes. So it just again goes over the top. He kind of barrel rolls underneath it. Okay, very cool. So then that will come over to you, Rin.
Okay, so that monkey is there. That's a problem. Okay, so having the arrow sort of flies off, and then this monkey comes charging towards me. I move the bow sort of to my side in a reverse grip. I pull out my short sword, and as the monkey's clamber towards me, scratching away, he doesn't feel the short sword come around and drive into his ribs.
Yeah.
Rin sends his regards.
That's a natural 20.
You may not
Even
fall
I
this
wanted
way.
to die! So sadly my Hail of Thorns doesn't work on this because it's a range attack and my Hunter's Mark is on the other one, which is really frustrating because then that would have been 4d6 damage. I'll settle for 2d6 damage.
Okay.
That is a double 3, so 6 plus my dexterity 3. That is 9 points of damage, though.
Oof.
You dead?
So no, he's not. But the gash, as you just hear it go, and you can feel it scrape across the ribs. You've definitely done a mortal wound. Blood is just pouring out. And he has a moment there, and he kind of looks back at you, grips hard on his spear, and gets ready to charge you again. But again, he is looking not very well. Very cool. Okay, that will come to you now, Pollux.
Right. So.
Do I want you to have a turn?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm just worried about what new spell you're going to
It's alright, don't worry.
I'm slightly concerned.
It's okay.
Just going to have some of this.
Cool, good. Okay, we're all ready. So this won't be that bad. So the ape man has come out with the spear. So he's like kind of jabbed one kind of like into my midriff really.
Yeah.
So so it's kind of like taking him back a little bit, and then the fireball came along. So it's like momentarily enveloped me for a second, but as soon as the fire dissipates, well, this ape man sees in front of him, like me kind of just look up there, and my eyes have gone red. But and I start to clench up this, but as that happens, you can start to see me kind of like go, no! My eyes go back to normal.
No.
So I've kind of fought it off for the time being. I grab what appears to be a tiny little pin in my pipe. This ape man comes to attack me again, and as he does so, this little pin, I just go like this into it. He doesn't feel it, but then what he feels afterwards is this electricity going through his body, and he just kind of gets jolted in position. So I'm casting Shocking Grasp.
Can I just can we just point out the commitment that Pollux has to keeping hold of his pipe while he's being attacked by a monkey? It's very impressive, everyone.
It's a very important piece of paraphernalia.
So Shocking Grasp, can you remind me the rules for that?
Okay, well it's a melee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'll read it. So basically, it requires me to touch.
Yes.
So and what else do you need to know? It's an attacking roll as well.
It's an attacking roll, and isn't it if there's metal already on the person?
Yes, I get an advantage if.
Oh, you get an advantage.
Wait, you have advantage on the attack roll if the target is wearing armor made of metal.
Okay, but otherwise you can shock anyway. Because I thought that was a very cheeky way of you just like adding metal to a character.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's not out of the realms of your trying to get extra stuff, though.
I learned my lesson when I tried to smoke out of those.
That's why I was listening. I was like, hang on a minute. No.
I wasn't going to try and do that. That wouldn't be reaching.
He unfortunately is not wearing any metal.
No, that's fine.
You may attack.
Got like an antenna in his head. Excellent.
It doesn't test the coil
Would
thing.
you hold this piece of metal for me, please? There you go.
Okay. Alright, that is. That's a 14. Plus 5 becomes a 19.
Yes! It goes off.
Alright, he takes D8 damage.
Oh, wow.
Cool. 5.
5, very nice.
Okay, so I don't think this matters, but only get to and can't take reactions until the start of the next turn.
Okay.
I don't know how important that is, but it's worth mentioning.
It'd be things like he can't opportunity attack anyone if he were to move away, for example.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic. So
I think I might, yeah.
There we go. So now it will come back around to Team Ape Man. Very
See, that
good.
wasn't too bad, was it?
In your world, yes.
Right. So the one that you have just booted to the ground, he gets up and with his last ounce of strength, he just slashes wildly out with his spear to try and see if he can stop this horrific death that is definitely upon him. He misses wildly. He's definitely in a lot of trouble at this point. We'll go on to his friend. Yes, we will. We'll go on to, I'm just trying to think where I want to go. We'll go to the one attacking Jericho now at the moment. So he's just taken, well, you missed, didn't you?
I missed him.
He rolled straight underneath you, yeah. So he strikes, so as he barrels under, he kind of comes back up underneath you and throws the spear up over the top in some ape man acrobatical feat of amazingness. Your armor class.
18.
That is a miss. So again, ping, off your armor, you're just tanking all of the. I can imagine you there going,
Foolish
monkey.
I am a man and you are merely an ape.
Just stroking his beard. Wow.
Very good. We come over to the one on you, Rin, who is again severely damaged but still alive. He's kind of trying to put what's left of his intestine back into his stomach as he comes at you and swings with his, in like a slashing motion down with his spear. That is a miss. So you've obviously wounded all of these guys quite badly now. So we've hit. We missed. We'll come over to the one on Pollux. So he's kind of going. He's kind of had this whole. He kind of drops and he's kind of singeing. He goes, and he leaps into the air again. The same sort of thing that was happening to Rin. He kind of to grab onto you and claw and bite, and it's a brutal, vicious. Like he's gnashing his teeth, and the smell coming from his mouth is almost. Yes, it's not good. It's not good. Your armor class
It's 10.
It's a hit. He does a total of 4 damage as he bites down into the side of your neck and takes a chunk of your shoulder blade off your body.
That's not fun.
That was quite a violent hit.
So how much? Sorry, 4.
4,
Okay.
correct. And that is we've won. Yeah, what did we go? And then it's just the what did you call it? The monkey mancer.
Yes.
Yes. So it's just hit left. So again, these fireballs start, but he seems to be channeling something which looks a lot more powerful. He goes to power this up. He looks across the battlefield at you, Hakotay. As a blast of fire just erupts from his hands, almost like a stream. It just and envelops you. What is your armor class?
It is 15.
15. That, unfortunately, is a hit. As you are hit with a fireball that goes up all over your body, he does a total of, luckily, only 5 damage. But
Luckily, only 5.
Yes.
Quite a lot.
That could have been a lot worse. But you are on...
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes? You alright?
No.
Just got hit by a fireball. You just got hit by a fireball. Brutal stuff. Right, but that is all of them now attacked. It is up to you. So you're on fire.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're on fire.
Okay, so he launches this fusillade of fire, and you see Hakotay spin the sides round. He holds them reverse grip because it's become like forearm guards. Holds the sides in front, and he's just engulfed in this flame. Again, he's pushed back because he's in this like forward horse stance, or forward tiger stance rather, and he scratches back against the ground. As he lowers his arms, you can see his body is starting to become quite charred. There's some blistering starting to happen. He's very badly wounded. However,
What?
that one's still alive, isn't it? The one that I stabbed in
Yes.
either shoulder and did a more...
Yes, it is just alive.
Can you attack them both?
Well, yes, maybe.
Use the fire that's on you. Use the force. It's not how the force works.
I could. Well, that would give me a bonus disengage action, but then I don't think I'll be able to attack. So I can attack and then disengage, but then I won't be able to attack again. So
If you attacked and killed him,
Then you can use
you've
your
got to
movement.
disengage for free because he's dead.
Yeah.
yes,
so
but then I disengage to where, and then
Go
I'll
and
attack
fight
again.
and punch another monkey.
with your
bonus action.
Whoa.
You can remember you can break up your.
you can
Oh, so I can break them up.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Use your kill. Use your bonus action after you've moved to attack again.
To then work out.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to do it on the same thing. You don't have to stand still to do it. You can
Okay.
always do stuff in pretty much any order you want.
Right, well at this point then, what I do is, as he recovers from the flame, this one is just sort of scampering back to its feet after it's tried to slash at me again. Its jaw is probably swinging because of the knee
Oh, yeah.
I did. It's got puncture marks here. Hakotay, almost like as an afterthought, he starts to sprint towards the monkey mancer, but he like football punts this monkey that's still alive off the side of the, literally off the side.
It's a
of
big,
the,
biggish creature. Okay, yes, right.
It's not.
Still at this.
It's a monkey.
Oh my god.
So right, we're doing the attack. That is a 10 plus 5, 15. Which I believe is a miss according to your
yes,
armor class.
it is a miss, unfortunately.
Then, in which case, I will. He goes to. It's an afterthought, but it's obviously got enough life in it to dodge out of the way. So, in which case, I will then use just a bonus action to attack.
Sure.
And he'll just continue to spin and then do a spinning heel kick into its chest.
Okay.
Turning kick. That is a hit, an 11 plus 5, 15.
Excellent.
So D4 damage.
16.
16, sorry.
Yeah, so you just describe exactly how he dies.
Perfect. So basically I miss with the left kick as I'm trying to run past, and then I just can let the momentum take me round, and I then spin and do a turning kick with my right leg into its chest, and it basically smashes it down across the room towards the steps.
Okay.
But it's such a brutal blow, it twitches and then it just never gets up.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I like it. Okay.
Can I take that model, please?
You can, please. Remove
Hey.
the model!
I'm taking that.
Remove the model as this Mortal Kombat continues.
Well played.
So then we come across to you, Jericho.
Yes. So he's parried a couple of blows from his tiny 8-man axe with his shield. Yeah.
I am a man! We evolved better!
And then remembering his age, has decided to stop spinning around and being silly. He's just going to go for a clean and true strike straight through the middle of the 8-man on a hit for 17.
Okay, yes, that is a hit.
That's a 14.
14
What?
plus what bit?
Plus my...
Come on, man.
yes, huh?
Plus your proficiency, plus your strength
Yeah.
bonus. So 3
I hit.
plus 2.
Hey! Just tell us what it is, because I'm the one that's got to edit it.
What I forgot to do last time I hit the monkey, because he exploded and got all excited about it, my new fighting style is dueling, so when I'm attacking with one hand I get plus 2 damage, which I didn't do previously, but he exploded anyway. So, plus 2 damage to whatever this is. So, D8, that is 7 plus 5 plus 2, what? No?
You don't add your proficiency to damage.
Why not?
That's the rule!
That's the
You add your strength bonus.
You were doing it correctly beforehand, adding 5. You just didn't explain why you were adding 5 and not 3.
it's just 5? Okay, fine.
It's just
Yeah.
7 plus 5,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. There you go.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's very dead.
He's dead.
Yeah. Would you like to just so essentially you just chop his head off.
Well, no, I drive through him,
Okay,
and
forgive me.
the remnants of my thunderous smite just sort of like ripples off through his body, and he just sort of slides off the end of my sword into a heap next to the human remains in the middle there.
Very cool.
I'm going to take that monkey.
Take the ape. Give it to me. The ape man. Okay, so then we come over to you, Riz.
Okay, so as I've driven my short blade into the side of its ribs, I've leant down, I've dropped my bow, and then I've, in one sort of fluid action, yanked out with my short sword, pulled out a knife with my left hand, and I'm gonna skirt around him.
Ooh.
And as I do so I've sort of gone there, let go of my bow, pulled out my knife, and as I've skirted round him like that, the knife goes into the nape of his neck.
Right.
Nice.
Critical. Whilst I move round next to this second one.
It's very cool.
So,
He's got a plan. He's got a plan.
20.
that's an 18.
Oh, it's very
That's
close.
not-
Very close.
There's definitely a hit
That's
there.
a hit. So, that will be, because I said it was with my dagger. Okay, so that's 3. Now my fighting style at level 2, I've taken 2 weapon fighting, which allows me to add my modifier to my offhand attacks, even though normally you can't.
Right.
So it's 6 points of damage.
Okay, so when that knife pierces into the napier of his neck, it goes right through, out his mouth, and he drops dead to the
Excellent.
ground.
And then with my bonus action...
He's got a bonus action. Wait, what's on?
So that's driven into the nape of his neck.
Yeah.
And then my short blade, I bring that round and I gut the one that's attacking Pollux.
Very good.
Because you get the bonus because you've got 2 weapons.
Because I've got 2 weapons now.
Yeah.
6 plus 5 is 11.
No, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries.
So you do finish off the one that you're in combat with, but you just missed this one on Pollux.
I'm too busy scratching your face off.
Yeah.
I can't get a solid blow in because I might stab you too, which admittedly at this point probably won't be a good idea.
Come on, guys. All right. Okay. So so this guy, he still can't. Can he still not take reactions, or can he take reactions still?
No, he can't take He can take a reaction now because it states it lasts until their turn, I believe.
Yeah, I'll double check. Graph.
We'll just wait patiently.
Okay. Hey, come on now. Can't take reactions until the start of his next turn.
Yeah, so because he didn't take a reaction, because he's had a turn since, and he's
still
now
take a
come around to
reaction.
you, he can still take a reaction now.
That's kind of annoying. It's not what I had in mind. That's okay.
Necroblast.
Oh, that makes it kind of because I was thinking about doing a thing which meant I had to kind of disengage from. I'm gonna do that anyway because it's gonna be really cool.
Okay, I will get to attack you.
I know, and I don't want you to
Do it. Do it. Risk it.
You know what? No, this could be fun. So okay, I'm going to do that. So what I'll describe first is that this guy's been kind of gnawing at me, and on my he's been kind of drawing blood from up on my neck and things like that. So what I do is I've been trying to fight him off, kind of like this, and then with my left hand I kind of grab part of my shoulder, and like now my hand's like covered in blood. And so with that hand, and it's almost kind of like doing this like without thinking about it. But what I end up doing is like taking this hand, shoving it into the monkey man's kind of jaw and face like this, and I push him off. And as I do that, I kind of take a few steps back.
Right.
So this, I imagine, where would be where we get his his attack of opportunity.
You
He's
ready?
gonna kill me.
What's your armor class?
10.
You're lucky.
Oh, good. He rolls the dice. Okay, so he's kind of trying to gnaw at me, but claw at me as I do that. But I managed to push him off and take a few steps back. What happens then? So I'll make them all later. What happens then is the monkey man, eight man,
Yeah.
falls to the ground and then picks himself up again and looks over at me, and I'm kind of got my hand like just kind of looking at him like this, and I kind of close my hand, and then he's kind of looking at me going, what's he doing? And then he realizes, he does this to himself and notices he got my blood on his face.
Right.
He then looks down and sees a trail of blood back towards me, and I start to close my hand, and he's just kind of pausing there going, what's going on? And I start to kind of chant something under my breath. He can't hear it. And then we're just kind of looking at him, and the monkey goes, my ape man just kind of starts making his way towards me, but as he does, he kind of starts to slow down, noticing something's not quite right. He starts to kind of, almost like he's getting weaker and weaker each step he takes towards me, and I'm still muttering something under my breath. The look on my face is actually that of sympathy.
Okay.
Like I'm kind of almost feeling sorry for this little creature. Medium, sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying. But and all of a sudden the ape man just kind of stops there for a moment and just can't hold himself anymore. His kind of face kind of goes from like an attacking kind of grinning expression to relaxing, and he just kind of expressionless like this, and he drops his weapons, and you can even see tears come out of his eyes as he falls down, lifeless. I'm casting Ray of Sickness. It's a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
If you don't hit it.
If I don't hit, man. I roll a 4. So what happens then?
Yeah, tell me what happens, because I'm very interested.
Yeah, well, like it kind of works out, like except for the point where the ape man's just kind of.
It's actually you that's crying.
My eyes do start to well up a little bit, but
Yeah.
what happens is the ape man kind of realizes what's happening, and then he kind of shakes himself too, starts doing this, throws the blood on the ground, and takes a step back and picks his weapons up again and just goes in defiance, just kind of standing there, just bares his teeth at me.
Yeah.
And I realise it hasn't quite worked. And I release my hand and prepare my next move. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, everyone.
So what? So there's no after. I was expecting.
No, he just failed to
I
cast.
just failed.
He didn't. He didn't.
just
He
straight
didn't
failed
hit.
to cast.
No, but when you said if he missed, I was saying, oh, something bad happens.
No, just after the description.
That was just. I was like, and then what happens? You explode?
You die?
It's like, no, that's just the end. Oh, I see. Right, well, okay, we'll go to him. So,
Wow.
it is back to their turn. So he's wiping all of the blood off him, and he kind of looks at you and wipes the tears out of him, and goes, charges forward into you, and whatever you've done must have had some sort of lasting effect on him, because he goes for this killing blow and has this moment where he hesitates, and it's just enough time for you to get out of the way as he slams into the ground and just misses you. We then go back to the monkey mancer over here. So again, you see these 4 balls of energy.
Ooh, that's one of my slots.
4 small fireballs hit all of you again in different areas, and you all take a total of 2 damage.
Wow.
Been lucky with those rolls.
I'm gonna have to make a concentration, and for last time I forgot to do it for this.
Sure,
So I'm
no
just gonna
worries.
roll 2 at once here. They both pass. I'm 15 and a 14. You're a hero.
Absolute hero.
Keep that
very
performance
good.
going as long as I can.
But that's it. It now comes back around to you, Hakotay.
Right. So one of these, because we're standing near the fire, aren't we? So one of these fireballs sort of shoots through it and then hits me again.
Yeah.
At this point, Hakotay's like furious because he didn't see this magic missile coming from anywhere. He then slashes both of the sides against each other. They spark, starts running, jumps over the pit of bones and nastiness in the middle, through the flames,
And now the monkey mancer doesn't see Hakotay coming. As
I launch myself through the fire and I unleash these sighs into him. He's stabbed 3 times before he even takes a breath.
Excellent. Wow. Go for it. The first one.
That is an 18 plus 5.
That's a hit.
It is damage. 3 plus 3, 6 points of damage. The second is a 14 plus 5, that's a 19.
Another hit.
The damage is 3 plus 3, that's 6 points of damage.
And now, because in case you haven't guessed, I've spent my last key point today to do the additional, so I've done 2 extra flurry of,
Yeah, nice.
the flurry of blows is what it's called.
This will be a critical hit.
Amazing.
Did I stutter?
Describe how he was already dead. Describe how super dead he is
Good.
now.
I won't bother rolling the dice then. So what happened?
Stop it! He's already dead.
So Hakotay's like, he's trailing smoke and fire because he's all scorched my body and everything. So I've dived through the fire. I've stabbed him twice, lifted him up into the air. Hakotay actually finishes him by driving a massive headbutt against this thing's face, and his head actually cracks off the side of the wall. So it goes, and it's like a melon. And I do it with a headbutt.
Wow.
That was a brutal combat. Very well done, all of you. We will be back to talk about the aftermath of this.
Wait a minute,
What's that?
there's one left.
I don't think, is there?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
that
one
guy.
on Pollux.
Yeah, because Paul.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That description.
He should be dead.
I thought, how could he possibly be alive?
Well, what happens is the other one obviously runs
He
away. He's just seen
spontaneously
that.
explodes.
Yes. I mean, you go on.
Wow. What? No. Okay, but actually, what does happen is, oh, I've made a mistake, haven't I? That's fine. Jericho, it's your turn. I he felt really dead. He felt really dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Jericho runs full steam ahead towards this monkey. He runs past him with his sword out. He cuts him in half. That's a 3. I just run straight past him. He doesn't know his own speed. He's gone far too far.
Well, we've descended into fast.
Oh my god.
Okay, so then that will come over to you, Rid.
Okay, so I'm still behind this one. I've misjudged the attack with my short blade. With this, I just bring up my short blade and my dagger, and I drive them both in at the same time, just to save a little bit of time, everyone.
Very good.
The white will be the short sword for what it's worth.
And this.
That is a 40, so that is a 19 on my short sword and a 16 on my dagger.
They are both hits.
Okay, I'll do the short sword first. He is hunter's marked, so that is an extra d6, so that is 10 plus 3, 13 points of damage from the short sword.
If you would like to describe how you remove this model from existence.
Absolutely. The short sword drives into the right side of him. I lift him up slightly, and then the dagger just slices his neck, and I just release them both.
Cheeky coup de grace at the end.
Yeah.
Incredible. Right, so now, yes, now everyone is dead. Very good. I need a short break. I'm sure you all do as well. We'll be right back in just a sec. So, as the last ape man hits the floor, you hear that the combat below seems to have quietened down now, and you see slowly as Sahid, the dark-skinned warrior, and Anarch, they seem to be making their way back, and you can see by the flames that are coming. They weren't too far below you. They all seem okay. They've definitely been in the wars though. Sahid looks like his nose has been broken. He's bleeding quite badly from his face. Anarch has a gash down his arm. The dark-skinned warrior is, as always, unharmed. Anarch walks forward to the fire where the meat has been cooking, and he kicks dirt all over it. He takes his bandana down, he spits on it. No more diplomacy in this place.
I will not mindlessly kill anything that we come across. It is not my way.
This is not Arcadon. This is somewhere else. You would do well to remember that.
Why are you so certain?
I don't know. Can't you feel it? Wherever we are. This is not right.
I do agree that this place is saturated with mana. But we know nothing about what is in these walls. We really don't know anything at all.
Hearing that, Pollock's kind of just clenching his wounds. Look around you. This is not Borana. Now we can know for certain.
At this, Sahid, you see he's been silent, he's kind of staring off in the distance. He goes, I have to agree, for I know these creatures.
What?
We call them the Fallen. They live in the mountain ranges of my homeland of Samsara. They were once a powerful tribe of druids who were known for their abilities to turn themselves into beasts. It is said their leader became obsessed with his animal form, spending more and more time as a beast rather than a man. The exposure to the taint of the Demiurge sent him and those who followed him mad, and they became the creatures you see before you now, unable to shift back to the people they once were. My teacher said they eat the flesh of humans in the hope it will make them Monkau again. It is a sad story. I know not what they are doing here, but if they are like the creatures who inhabit my homeland, we must not tarry here long, for they will return, with greater numbers.
You notice Pollux looking at you when he says that, and he just says that once he's finished, they fed the wolf.
Yeah. They did. But how? How are creatures all the way from Samsar here?
That I cannot tell you. But I know what they are.
Either way, we do not know much about this place. And it would be foolhardy to just mindlessly engage with everything we come across. And I say that looking at Anna.
Well, then next time we should at least approach with more caution.
I was ready.
As
Were
well.
you?
You know I was.
Too ready.
I'm not going to be blamed for what just happened, if that's what you're insinuating.
Your mind is too much. That's why your sword arm is always so quick.
And your heart is too full.
And yet here I am, standing alive.
Just. He looks you up and down.
I look at his shoulder.
You will do what you must. So will I. I'm not going to die in this place.
Fair enough. We will disagree on this point.
Yes, we will. He just kind of doesn't say anything.
So Hakotay turns to look up the stairs, because the stairs did begin again, you said?
Yes.
So he says, shall we? If they do come in packs, I turn to Saeed, then perhaps we should leave.
The two that I killed,
Mhm.
I'd like to search their bodies for if there's anything on them.
No, you find nothing of real value. On one of them you find it almost looks like it was some sort of charm necklace. It has little bones on there. You find dried meat rations. You can assume that you know what the
They
meat
are,
is made
sure.
of. Other than the kind of tattered robes and clothes that they wear, and their stone crude weapons. Nothing.
Okay. I take the charm, and from one of them, and then from the other one, I cut off a bit of the cloth that they're wearing.
Sure.
And then over the course of the next X amount of minutes as we're going up, I'm going to attach them to my my own thing that I have where I've got all of my trophies and stuff.
Sure.
What Pollux does before he heads off as well, the one that's kind of dead at his feet, which is I believe was the one I was engaged with for a lot of the time. He kind of looks down at it and kind of kneels down towards it. It's lying there lifeless, but he notices his eyes are still kind of slightly open, and you can even see like still some moisture from where he was weeping from before. And so Pollux kind of like closes his eyes really gently. He takes out a small knife and cuts off a bit of his fur and puts that in his satchel and moves on.
Okay.
As you start to move on, you get grabbed at the back of your neck and pulled backwards.
Yeah, you hear me kind of go,
Yeah, Hakotay sharply turns to the...
what?
What are you doing with that?
Token.
A token of what? What's it for?
I don't know. I might need material for a spell, possibly.
A spell. More spells.
Yes.
There's a devil inside of you, boy.
Where is it?
Don't you think I know there's a devil inside me?
As you say that, I pull you over to the side of the platform and sort of hold you over it.
Whoa.
Go take steps
Yeah, so
over. Doesn't touch you, but he's like placid.
You feel like one of my hands kind of go on your wrist, and you don't see my face, but you can hear a voice. It's not my usual voice.
There it is. Where is he?
He says, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why?
I am here to protect him at all costs. We all need to get out of this alive. All of us.
Who are you?
Let me go.
I don't let you go.
Right.
Who are you?
You don't need to know who I am. Know that I am Anonymous. And you will do wise to let me go. He is no danger to you.
What about
Any
you?
of you. I am a danger only to my enemies. And as long as you are my allies, I am no danger to you. We must all leave here alive. Do what you want. Death is a doorway.
can the rest of the party hear this, or is it just is that voice just something that you're hearing?
Well, it depends on. It's not very loud, and it might depend on how close they are.
I'm very near you because I've come straight over. But I'm not touching either of you. I'm putting my hands up to you to sort of put him down.
Yeah. So what happens is a large hand gets put on like where both of you are, and you look out, and the dark-skinned warrior he's just put his hand on both of you. He just looks at you both, and he kind of just starts to slowly guide you back onto the platform, and you as well. Just moving you, just stares at you, and once that you see that you're in a more safe position, he lets you go, and he takes a step back.
Hakotay actively looks at this dark-skinned warrior and nods. Thank you, my friend.
So, have I been relieved yet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Pollux kind of slowly turns around. He kind of has his head dipped, but he looks up at all of you. His eyes aren't red or anything like that, but you can kind of again see him shedding tears, and just looks at you, all of you, as if to like commence a speech to all of you. He says, "Don't you wish I wasn't here? Don't you wish none of this ever happened? I want out of here as much as you. I could have succumbed to Euronymous before. I fought him off. I don't want to feed that wolf anymore. But if you threaten me, I don't know how much I can control him. Please. I know we are all in this together. I mean you, none of you, any harm. I wish I didn't have to kill a thing. I just wanted to go home. I understand your concern. I would be worried too. I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that none of you come to harm. We must all survive. Please. I just want to go home.
So hearing that, I sort of approach you again. Are you standing up?
Yeah.
Okay. I approach you again, sort of gently this time, put a hand on your shoulder, and spend my 5 hit points for lay on hands, so give you 5 hit points back.
Oh, cheers.
As I do so, I sort of pull you in and whisper in your ear.
5 was it, sorry?
Yes, pipe. That's all I needed to hear. But if you lose control, I put you both down.
So you've kind of hand on my shoulder kind of thing, is that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I've kind of did this as well. Look at you going. I know all you're doing is all you feel. I know that all you're doing is what you feel is right.
I follow the light, and there is a darkness within you.
I know. I am trying every waking hour of my life to extinguish it.
Very good. Let's leave you to it.
As you leave, out of eye shot, you kind of turn away as you walk away, and then as you kind of leave eye shot, you know, your field of vision, Polly's just starts to go. Takes his pipe out again. Right, and continues on.
Right. So as you do that, you kind of Anak walks past you, and you can see that he actually had one of his blades drawn. And goes, puts it away, and he looks at you and goes, "No diplomacy." He just walks off after him.
Hakotay, so Hakotay was staring up until Anak came up to him. Was staring at Pollux, just watching him. Hakotay then follows Anak quickly and starts to walk shoulder to shoulder with him. Assuming Anak is taking the initiative and going right up the stairs and he's starting to leave. Yeah. So Anak, is walking with Hakotay. Hakotay, as we continue up the stairs, why are you so quick to draw your blade?
That's how I've stayed alive for so long.
I understand. And yet...
And I've seen true evil.
And is that what you have here? All of us, true evil?
No, not you. I think you're an idiot.
An idiot that has stayed alive for a long time. As long as you, I would guess.
Maybe.
And how do you suppose this idiot survived? Alone?
Luck.
I do not believe in luck. I believe in Bahana.
Skyver is a god as well. You would do well to believe in him, my friend.
I do. But there are choices and there are consequences.
Of that I am more than aware.
All of your choices have, up until this point, kept you alive. But my friend, at what cost? Forgive me, but you do not seem very at peace.
No.
You are among friends here. Do not make us enemies. I would fight to save your life. For you, as are we all, children of Bahana. Now you may think that I am a fool, but even the wolves stay alive as a pack, not alone.
Well, we'll try it your way. We'll see how long we last, shall we?
Like I said, if it comes to it, I also am ready. And I put a hand on one of my hilts. But you should use this before you use this.
There's something not right about that boy.
I agree.
He stinks of the taint of the Demiurge.
My father once told me, never trust a man that wears different faces in front of different people. For that is the sign of the Demrayag's disciples. If it comes to it, I will deal with him myself.
Well, let us hope I'm wrong. The problem is, I never am.
You see only the bad. You should realize that without light there cannot be shadow, and without shadow there cannot be light. There are always glimmers of hope wherever you look.
I don't see that. But you're right. We need all of us. I just hope that when the time comes, and it will, you stay to your word. Because if you don't, I will. And you will not be able to stop me.
I am Haroni. We do not give our word lightly.
Good. He just doesn't say anything after that.
Nor does Hakotay. Continues walking up the stairs with him.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to say?
No.
I've been walking just in silence, listening to all this. I presume we're in our normal sort of like walking order.
Yeah, I think so. Essentially, what would have happened? That conversation was private.
Sure, yeah.
So, but you've all kind of fallen into step now,
Uh-huh.
and you are continuing up the stairs. The lights come on, they go off as you pass them. You travel forward. The breeze has stopped, and that same stagnant feeling of the temple has closed in around you again. After what you feel could be a few hours, further up above you, you see a light burning. But this is it's not the same as the torchlight that you have seen. It seems much more constant and is not flickering.
I raise my hand and I look to Anak. It's because you say we can walk 3 abreast. Who's up? Is Anak gone back down now? Or is
No,
he
he just
walking
continuing walking
up
up
the
the
front? Okay. More trouble?
Yes.
We will need to rest soon.
Yes. We could take a look.
Yes. Hakotay starts to walk very lightly, light-footed up the stairs.
And Sam follows you. He's as nimble as you,
Yeah.
really. The pair of you almost like stealth cats as you move up. As you get closer, you see that the light is actually coming from a door, which is slightly ajar.
Is the door just at the top of the stairs, or is it in the side?
It's in the side. There are stairs which go on past it.
Okay. Well. And it's slightly ajar.
Yes. So
Okay,
that's
so-
where you can see the light coming through.
Okay.
But from where you are, unless you want to start to get closer, you can't see what's inside. You can just see the light creeping.
Can I hear anything?
No. Except for the breathing of next to you.
Shall we get the others?
Yes. It feels, I don't know. Safe isn't the right word, but you do have a sense of this. It doesn't feel like danger as such.
Okay. Hakotay starts to descend slowly, catches up with the others. There is a doorway up ahead. It is slightly open. There is light. I can't hear anything, but
And then I says, it seems okay.
I draw my short sword.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at the both of you and go, well then, let's go. You don't want to try diplomacy? And I just go and I make a beeline for the door.
Sure.
Ah.
Great. He pulls out his swords. He goes up as well. You actually see the dark-skinned warrior. He kind of takes his spear off. He just kind of goes, slams it on his shield, and then he starts walking up.
Hakotay's gone straight up.
Yeah. Sahid obviously goes as well. Everyone goes.
I kind of hold to the kind of the rear
The
of
rear.
the group. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So you are coming up. Now you can all start to see the outline of this door. You get closer, and we'll have to wait to see what happens in the next session. That was a fantastic session. Well done, everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I hope you guys did too. We will be back next Wednesday for Chapter 8. We're getting there.
Wow.
We're getting through it. So in the meantime, you keep being adventurers, and we'll see you very shortly.